viewers, welcome to my channel Big Business. On this channel, I shall be sharing with you the content and make you understand with a lot of practical examples and in easy way the content syllabus of Class 12 Business Studies. I hope this will enhance your knowledge and will also as well as your understanding, remembering, analytical and high order thinking capacity to score 100%. You heard it right children, 100%. Now today we'll be starting with the second unit, that is Principles of Management. In this particular unit you'll be studying about the 14 principles which Henry Fayol has given to us for uh, as general administration, that how a complete organization can work after following these 14 principles. And on the other side, Frederick Winslow Taylor, he is the father of scientific management, and he has given us four principles and 7 techniques of scientific management. To start today's topic, we'll be starting with a brief introduction about Henry Fayol. So he was working. He worked as a French mining engineer in France, and basically he was while he was working over there, he started he started his career as just as a French uh, mining engineer. But slowly and steadily, after some time, he retired as the managing director of the company. So what he did over there, he saved the company from insolvency. His contribution and how he was able to eradicate the problems of the company, save the company, and has headed the organization towards a growth. So what he did over there, actually there were many. He always emphasized. Henry Fayol always emphasized that there are 6 activities which are very important in any industrial organization. Now, what are these 6 activities? The first one he said is a technical, where it is related to production. Then second one is commercial. That means a lot of buying, selling, exchange, all these activities are there. Then he also emphasized on financial, that is how the finances will be procured and how there will be optimum utilization of finance, as well as security. That is, security relates to protection of property and persons. So all these technical, commercial, then your uh, technical, commercial, financial, security, as well as accounting, which is related to statistics. So these 5 activities, he said that everyone knows that in running any organization, these five activities are very essential and everybody knows about it. The 6th activity was managerial. So when he talked about, like in your course also, whatever you are studying is in reference to employees and the organization, to managers and how they are dealing and how they are taking care of their work. So he emphasized that managers need some specific roles to play to manage the work and workers. Whenever we talk about management, it is all managing what? Managing work, managing people, and managing operations. So Henry Fayol emphasized that these 6 functions have a very major role to play and managers have to deal with these. Now, because what are these 6 functions? These are forecasting, planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. Because they are dealing with work, they are dealing with workers. So all these other activities sum up, and these have derived into 14 principles. So this was the base, that how Henry Fayol enumerated how those 14 principles evolved from the base of these 6 main functions. This is how it evolved. Now, basically, when we talk about principles, what do we mean by that? Principle is a fundamental truth, isn't it? It has been observed, it has been experimented, and then the conclusion has been driven out of it. And these are fundamental. These are some statements which are fundamental truth, which can be applied in any organization. So he emphasized, and for the first time, Henry Fayol only emphasized and used the term administration instead of management. That's why you see in the previous slide, you see here his contributions were published in the form of a book titled Industrial Ad General in French language in 1916, and later it was restricted till in Europe. It was restricted to Europe only during that time, but after some time, when around the world, when all these 14 principles were popular and organizations were following it, so it translated, the book was translated in English also in 1929 under the title Industrial and General Administration, and which got a lot of prominence in the field of management. And even today also, in all the organizations, these 14 principles are being followed. But it depends upon the size of the organization whether all these 14 principles are required or not. But definitely, Henry Fayol has given these 14 principles, and universally they are being applied all over the world. They are applied all over the world because all these 14 principles are based on universal applicability. It is based on cause and effect relationship. When we talk about management, we talk about work, we manage people, we manage operations because it is multidimensional. So when we are dealing with people, we are dealing with human emotions. So these principles are flexible in nature, they are not rigid. It depends upon the size of the organization, it depends upon the which kind of situation is being there. Like in a previous chapter we have discussed that management is an inexact science. Surely, all these principles are based on cause and effect, but according to the situation, they can change. According to the situation, their applicability can change. So these are not absolute, these are general guidelines for the organization. That is why it is called as general administration. It depends that in any organization, maybe all the 14 principles can be followed or may not be. So they are all these principles while he was working as an engineer. When he was working, he had a perspective that whatever problems were risen during his tenure in the organization, he always tried to look the problems from the top level of management, from the management organization, from the top management point of view, that how the problems can be dealt with. So because of these 6 important functions, he evolved 14 principles of management. Now today we'll be taking each of the principles separately. These principles are very easy to understand. From the examination point of view, you should know one-liner key term, that you should understand the concept. Definitely principles are to be understood, that what each principle says, and you should also know the positive effect as well as the negative effect. If it is being followed properly, then what will be the positive effects in the organization, and if they are not followed, if they are being violated, then what will be the negative effect. So in the Henry Fayol has given us 14 principles. Now, one by one, I'll be explaining each of the principles. Now, the first principle given to us is division of labor. In this particular principle, work should be divided into small tasks, and work should be assigned to each worker so that he or she becomes an expert or a specialist in performing that task. Now, next principle is authority and responsibility. This principle explains that there should be a parity or a balance between authority and responsibility of workers. Next principle says discipline. It implies that everything should be in a proper order or in an obedient manner. Discipline can only be enforced by a worthy leader. So it is very essential for smooth running of one particular organization. Now, next principle says unity of command. This particular principle explains that there should be only one authority, or one subordinate should report to only one superior. So that means that reporting authority should always be one. So he or she should get orders from only one superior. Next principle says unity of direction. This means that whenever you are there in one particular department, there should be one unit, one plan. That means one head or one plan for the group. All the members should do the work according, all the members should do the work for the accomplishment of that particular group activity. Now, next principle says subordination of individual interest to common interest. This means that group interest should rank above the individual interest. Now, next principle is remuneration of personnel. This says that there should be fair remuneration according to the competition in the prevailing industry to the workers. It should be related to cost of living, workers' availability, paying capacity of the firm, and remuneration paid by the other firms. So this is what remuneration of personnel says. Next, the next principle says centralization and decentralization. Again, it means that there should be a proper balance of how much power to be given to a manager. Whether manager is allowed to fire a person or to write some indisciplinary action against the worker. So what type of, how much power is to be given to a manager? So that should be proportionate with decentralization. Now, decentralization means that how much power to be given to each of the employed so that he or she may also give some opinion in the decision making regarding the organizational requirement. In scalar chain is a line of command in the levels of management where one stands in one particular hierarchy. What are the established flow of communication? Always, whatever instructions come from top level management to the lower management, so the communication moves in an organization from the top top level management. That means from upward direction to downward direction. But at times, whenever there is a requirement of communicating, then this flow of communication can also move from downward to upward. That means G can ask to F, F can ask to E, E can ask to A. Otherwise, in proper official communication, flow of communication, the communication will be followed from top level management to lower level. But at times when the immediate superiors are not available, then how the flow of communication will work? Then there will be an establishment of gang plan. This gang plan says that you can ask to your colleagues, those who are there at the same level of hierarchy in the organization. So these are the established channels. Subordinates are allowed. Subordinates can ask to their immediate superiors, and at times when they are not available, there can be a use of gangplank for the communication. Now, next principle is order. It tells us that there should be a perfect order or placement of all the things which are required for proper execution of a work. There should be proper place to be assigned for each individual to increase its productivity. Now, next principle says equity. It means that there should be equal wages for, it should not be gender biased, and there should be equality and fairness and reasonable treatment also among the workforce. There should be no differentiation in following this particular principle. Next principle says stability and tenure of employees. It means that employees or workers should not be made to change job every now and then. They should be associated with the organization for a longer period of time. So what will happen? What will be the result? There should be people should not be made to change their jobs very frequently. If it is being so, then the employee turnover rate of the organization will increase. Next is initiative among all the employees. Employees should be encouraged to take initiatives to bring up some new ideas, some new innovations, some new techniques, so that there would be proper working, or there should be an increase in the productivity level of the employees. Now the next, last but not the least, spirit decodes. This explanation explains it means union is strength. There should be a spirit fellow feeling among your team. There should be loyalty to the organization among the employees. So this is what spirit decodes explains to us. Now to sum up, now this is how we have completed 14 principles of management, a brief introduction, and how these, it depends upon the size of the organization, whether all the 14 principles to be followed or not. But definitely all these 14 principles are applicable to all types of organizations, whether it is business organization or non-business organization, or it is an organization prevailing in private sector or in public sector. So they are relevant, and it depends that whether all the principles are being applied or required or are not followed. So to conclude this topic, I should briefly interpret the points that what is the nature of management principles. These principles are based on human behavior after a lot of observation and experimentation and being applied in different situations. Henry Fayol has implemented these principles in different situations in the organization. After that, he implicated and evolved these 14 principles. These 14 principles are based on human behavior. They are flexible and they are being considered as applicable. It is universally applicable. These are the general guidelines for any type of organization. And these principles, they are not fixed, they are flexible according to the requirement, according to the situation, they can be changed. And in general conclusion also, these principles are being formed are formed by deep observation and experimentation. And these principles are dependent upon the situations prevailing in the organizations. Because again, once again, to sum up, that all organizations, the management of the organization is dealing with work, people, and operations. So at times, whenever different situations arise, these can be molded, these can be changed according to the requirements of the organization. That is how we have completed principles of management.